President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has described the 7th Parliament of Ghana as arguably the most productive in the history of Ghana. He said this is because the House had demonstrated dedication and rigor in passing over 50 legislative instruments during their tenure. President Akufo-Addo said this while delivering the State of the Nation's address in Parliament on Tuesday before the dissolution of the 7th Parliament on Wednesday, January 6, 2021. The State of the Nation address, as per Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution, requires the President at the beginning of each session of Parliament and before a dissolution of Parliament deliver to Parliament a message on the state of the nation. With about 50 bills and instruments deliberated on, the President eulogized the efforts of the current Parliament to work to deepen the cause of Ghana's democracy.
I would like to say a special thank you to the members of this august House, to the members of this 7th Parliament in our 4th Republic. I speak as someone who has served 3 terms in this House, and I can safely say that this 7th Parliament has been the busiest ever and arguably the most productive in the history of our country. You have passed almost 50 pieces of legislative instruments. The acts have been wide-ranging in scope and reach. We finally have the Right to Information Act. We have an Office of Special Prosecutor Act. The Ghana Integrated Aluminum Development Corporation Act. The Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Act. The Witness Protection Act. The Lands Act. The Historic Private Members Bill, and lots more. In many ways, you have helped transform Ghana, and you have every right collectively to be proud of the work you have done.
President Akufo-Addo urged members of the incoming 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic to work together in the interest of Ghanaians. He said the results of the parliamentary elections of December 7, 2020 show Ghanaians want the two sides to work together.
Speaker, the next Parliament is not going to be anything like this one that ends today. I do not suggest that the House might not be as busy, but the sitting arrangements, the source and decibel levels of sound from the House would certainly be different. The good people of Ghana have spoken and given Parliament an almost equal strength on both sides of the House. We have no choice but to work with the consequences of the desires of the people.
President Akufo-Addo told the outgoing legislature the government has been able to stabilize the economy, exit the International Monetary Fund program, and restore confidence in the economy. He explained that at the end of 2019, the economy was characterized by strong growth in response to the implementation of government flagship programs, single-digit inflation, reduced fiscal deficits, with 3 consecutive years of primary surpluses and a relatively stable exchange rate. There was also significant improvement in the nation's current account, with 3 consecutive years of trade surpluses, strong foreign exchange reserve buffers, and noticeably reduced lending rates.
And I'm glad to say that we've been able to stabilize the economy, exit satisfactorily the IMF program, and restore confidence in the economy. At the end of 2019, the economy was characterized by strong growth in response to implementation of government flagship programs, single-digit inflation, reduced fiscal deficits with 3 consecutive years of primary surpluses, relatively stable exchange rate, significant improvement in the current account with 3 consecutive years of trade surpluses, strong foreign exchange reserve buffers, and markedly reduced lending rates.
The President also mentioned the National Identity Card rollout, the National Digital Property Addressing System, the interoperability of mobile money transactions, the introduction of paperless operations at the ports, e-business registration system, and access to digital financial services as some of the drive to formalize Ghana's economy and enhance its productivity.
Government in 4 years has recorded a number of significant milestones in our quest to formalize and modernize the Ghanaian economy. We believe it is the fairest and fastest way to achieve our goals. The National Identity Card rollout, the National Digital Property Addressing System, the interoperability of mobile money transactions, the introduction of the paperless operations at the port, e-business registration system, and access to digital financial services are all part of the drive to formalize our economy and enhance its productivity.
President Akufo-Addo used the opportunity to call for an open discussion on illegal small-scale gold mining, popularly called Galamsey, in the country.
There is one subject, though, which I believe we, the people, need to have an open conversation, and that is the phenomenon of Galamsey. Should we allow or not allow Galamsey? The illegal mining that leads to the pollution of our water bodies and the devastation of our landscape. As I have said often, the Almighty having blessed us with considerable deposits of precious minerals, there would always be mining in Ghana. Indeed, there has always been mining in Ghana. The problem we have is the use of modern technology that leads to the illegal mining methods, posing serious dangers to our water bodies and the health of our environment. The pollution of our rivers and water resources has been so acute on occasion that the Ghana Water Company is unable to afford the distilling of water to make for safe drinking. We have to talk about Galamsey. We who are leaders owe it to the country to take the subject out of the party political arena and have an honest conversation about this menace to our future.
President Akufo-Addo also reiterated his government's delight at the new Dagbon, saying bringing peace to Dagbon has been one of the greatest achievements of his first term. He commended the three eminent chiefs, namely the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Yagbon Rua Tutumba Borisa Sulemana Jakpa I, and Nayiri Na Bohugu Abdullahi Mahama Sheriga, for their diverse roles in bringing to an end the protracted chieftaincy dispute at Dagbon.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to report that our undertaking to bring peace to Dagbon has been successful. For decades, this ancient and proud kingdom had been bedeviled with conflict. Since 2002, when a fresh eruption of the conflict ended in the tragic killing of my friend, the Yana Yakubu Andani, Dagbon had become designated as a troubled land. A generation of young people have grown up knowing nothing else but Dagbon as a troubled land where there was no peace, and public officials hesitated to accept postings there. On assumption of office, we decided to tackle the problem with renewed vigor. Luckily for all of us, the three eminent chiefs who had been at the helm of the peace process since 2002 did not relent on their commitment or enthusiasm for the cause of peace. Our efforts bore fruit. A historic settlement was reached, and peace has been restored to Dagbon. I admit freely that it was one of the highlights of the past 4 years for me as President of the Republic. I was happy, not just because a long-running problem had been finally resolved, but also because I know that the development and modernization of our country that we all desire can only happen when there's peace and unity in Ghana.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Tuesday officially signaled the beginning of Ghana's trade and relationship with other countries on the continent under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. This means that Ghanaian entrepreneurs and manufacturers could start trading and exporting goods to countries that had signed and ratified the agreement, which took off on January 1, 2021. Delivering an address at a business forum to appraise stakeholders on Ghana's implementation arrangement for seamless trade under the agreement, President Akufo-Addo stated that the start of trading on the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement represented an important step toward realizing the goal of continental integration. The forum was organized by the Ministry of Trade and Industry in collaboration with the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to focus attention on the implementation arrangements of the start of the trading under the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. Ghana spearheaded the acceleration of the implementation of the African Continental Integration Endeavour and was honored with privilege to host the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement Secretariat in Accra by the African Union. On Friday, January 1, 2021, trading officially commenced under the AfCFTA agreement, which main objectives are to create a continental common market that facilitates the movement of goods, services and persons and promote industrial development and sustainable and inclusive socio-economic growth in Africa. He said development was a pivotal step for job creation, industrialization and sustainable development for the youth of Ghana, adding that government would ensure that Guinean businesses derived maximum benefits from the AfCFTA agreement. Noting several reasons why the AfCFTA would succeed, President Akufo-Addo said a single African market would increase intra-Africa trade by as much as $35 billion per annum by harnessing the purchasing power of the continent's 1.2 billion people. He stated that the agreement would unlock and transform the huge resource endowment of the continent through value addition, increase export revenue earnings in Africa, and promote regional value chains, as well as create massive job opportunities for the continent's teeming youth.
There are good reasons why the AfCFTA must succeed. Firstly, it is estimated that a single continental African market will increase intra-Africa trade by as much as $35 billion United States dollars per year by harnessing the purchasing power of 1.2 billion Africans. Secondly, it will unlock and transform the huge resource endowments of African countries through value addition. Thirdly, it will increase export revenue earnings in Africa. Fourthly, it will promote regional value chains. And fifthly, it will create massive job opportunities for the youth of Africa.
The implementation of several government flagship and priority program and new integration trade facilitation and customs management system is designed to transform the Guinean economy and position Ghana as the new manufacturing hub for the region. Government, President Akufo-Addo said, was committed to ensuring that adequate financial and human resources are mobilized to make Ghana a new commercial center for trade, finance and investment on the continent.
The implementation of the government's flagship and priority programs, such as the One District, One Factory initiative, the program for planting for food and jobs, planting for food and export program, the Strategic Anchor Industries Initiative, the Port Modernization Program, and the new Integrated Trade Facilitation and Customs Management System, the ICONS UNIPAS, is designed to transform the Ghanaian economy and position Ghana as the new manufacturing hub for the region. Government is committed to ensuring that adequate financial and human resources are mobilized to make Ghana the new commercial center for trade, finance, and investment on the continent, a duty we should fulfill as host country of the AfCFTA Secretariat.
He urged stakeholders in the export value chain, including the relevant ministries, trade and investment promotion agencies, regulatory institutions, and business development service providers, to work closely towards the common goal of ensuring a common continental market.
I expect all stakeholders in the export value chain, including the relevant ministries, trade and investment promotion agencies, regulatory institutions, and business development service providers, to work closely towards the common goal of ensuring that Ghana achieves the non-traditional export revenue target of $25 billion United States dollars within the next 10 years. I assure the AU Commission and the AfCFTA Secretariat of the continuous support of the government and people of Ghana for the success of the AfCFTA initiative.
Alan Chairman Tim, Ghana's Minister for Trade and Industry, said the empowerment of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, to play critical roles if the implementation would be necessary for the success of AfCFTA.
We can work actively with the private sector, business associations, to enable the private sector to respond to all the interventions that government has put in place. And I say this, and I want to put particular emphasis on micro, small, and medium enterprises. If the AfCFTA is only going to benefit the major corporations in Africa, then we would not have carried the people along with us. So in Ghana, our focus must be on how we ensure that micro, small, and medium enterprises can also take advantage of the AfCFTA.
Ghana freighted its first consignment of goods under the AfCFTA officials disclosed later on Tuesday. Two local firms, Casapreco Company Limited, a local manufacturer of alcoholic products, and Gandu Cosmetics Limited, exported their products via air and sea freight, respectively, to countries on the continent on Monday.
The Supreme Court on Tuesday quashed an interim injunction of a Ho High Court that sought to prevent John Peter Amewu, Member of Parliament-elect for Hohoi, from being gazetted. The Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, held that the Ho High Court erred in granting an interim injunction of a human rights issue instead of an election-related matter. The decision of the court gives John Amewu the green light to represent his people in the 8th Parliament of Ghana after his swearing in. On December 23rd last year, the Ho High Court sought to prevent John Amewu from being gazetted as the MP-elect for the Hohoi constituency. This was after interested parties, led by Professor Margaret Kweku and 4 others, filed an injunction against Amewu on the basis that the people of Santro Kofi, Akpafo, Lekpe, and Lolobi's right had been breached. The Attorney General, which was made a party in the case at the Ho High Court, then filed an application invoking the supervisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court for an order directed at the High Court at Ho to quash its decision made on 23rd December last year. According to the Attorney General, the High Court had no jurisdiction under Article 33 of the Constitution to entertain a matter in the nature of parliamentary election petition and also grant any reliefs interim or interlocutory or final in a parliamentary election commenced under Article 99 and Section 16 of the PNDC Law 284 of the Representation of the People Law. In the Supreme Court's decision, the 5-member panel granted the human rights leg of the matter by quashing the December 23rd decision. The apex court of the land, however, granted the lower court the green light to go ahead and hear the parliamentary election aspect of the matter. The Supreme Court said the injunction was for a limited period, noting that it was dead on arrival or it died a natural death. The court said a human rights action under Article 33 was different from a parliamentary-related issue under Section 16 of the PNDC law. The justices who ruled on the matter were Justice Yao Apau presiding, Samuel Mafusao, Gertrude Tokonu, Amadou Tanko, and Clemens Honyanuga. In a related development, a Winchi High Court, presided over by Justice Frederick Arnold Nawura, on Tuesday struck out an interim injunction application seeking to restrain Techiman South Member of Parliament-elect Martina J. Mensah Korsah from being sworn in the 8th Parliament. The court also awarded 15,000 Ghana cedis as cost against Christopher Bayire, the petitioner. Christopher Bayire went to court seeking to restrain Ajay Mensah Korsah from presenting himself to be sworn in as Member of Parliament, as well as stop the Clerk of Parliament from admitting him into the records of Parliament. He further asked the court to restrain the Electoral Commission from gazetting the MP-elect. Lawyers for the applicant argued that the swearing-in of Ajay Mensah Korsah as the MP for Techiman South is a potential recipe for disaster. However, Justice Nawura dismissed the argument, saying granting the interim injunction will deprive Techiman South of representation in Parliament and the swearing-in will create irreparable damage. Lead counsel for the first respondent, lawyer Eric Ankama, said they are satisfied with the judgment even though their ex parte injunction application was shut down. The court stressed the main petition by Christopher Bayere and the NDC is, however, still pending.